It's time for Swarm. I'm very lucky to be able to show you its gameplay. In this video I'll be playing the game and I'll be also explaining more details about the Swarm as a game mode, as we got a lot of info to talk about. So in Swarm you can play as one of 9 champions: Riven, Jinx, Leona, Seraphine, Briar, Yasuo, Aurora, Illaoi or Xayah. In this case I'm playing Illaoi. We have Necrit on Jinx, Theranos on Xayah and Dumps on Riven. So this is Bullet Heaven Survivor PVE game mode that we finally got after so much time to League of Legends. We had Odyssey like what, 7 years ago. And here we already have the first augment selection. I can choose a weapon here, or I can choose one of the stats. This selection here is completely random. Overall, you can get up to 4 weapons, up to your bar that you can see at the bottom, or 6 skills. As you can see, I'm hovering my Frost Nova as a skill, and in order to upgrade that, I should be evolving my armor. So I'm focusing on armor, and you can also see what stats exactly are improving this ability. So the goal of this mode is to survive basically. Each game lasts 15 to 25 minutes and you will finish the game by finishing the boss, by killing the boss at the end. So there are 4 maps in this game mode. Each time you defeat one of the maps, you will be able to unlock the next one. Here we have another choice of item or the skill. And how does the leveling up work? Well, when you kill the enemies, they drop those white orbs. And when you get the white orbs, all the people in your team get the XP. And eventually all of you level up because you level up at the same time. And then you get the selection of a skill or a weapon. This is just an early game. As you can see, they're already kind of kicking our asses. It really depends on the type of start you have. Some champions are better for this, some champions are better for that. And remember, you can play multiple same champions. Here I died, but no big deal. As long as my RL is alive, you can still be fine. Here I upgraded my Frost Nova. So the way you move in this game mode is by using WSAD. You don't actually move with mouse, so it's much different on League of Legends. You move with WSAD and then you have skills on E and R currently. Here you can see my teammate revived me, but also if they don't revive you, you will revive itself after some time. Here you can see us grinding the levels. We're slowly leveling up, already to level 6, and we finally unlocked our ultimates. Here you can see the enemies got blasted. That was one of the skills that cooldown is like 100 seconds and that kills all units around. How many players do you play with? So in Swarm you can play alone, you can play with your premates, and you can play by just joining a normal matchmaking. Ideally this is made as a co-op for 4 people, but you can also try to play alone, but it would probably be harder. That being said, if you have less people in the party, the difficulty is adjusted. Although from my experience playing solo was pretty difficult. So you unlock more champions and upgrades as you play. And when you win the game or do some stuff in the game, you will unlock in-game currency that will also give you the upgrades. So for example, you will deal more damage or something like that, and this will make next levels or replaying the same map easier. So here, another selection. As you can see, I'm slowly gearing up. And remember that each map has a different mechanic. They have different bosses. Here we're fighting some mini boss, I believe it's Naafiri. And when we slay them, there is a card that you can pick up that will be another upgrade. So as you can see, we're leveling up pretty fast. I'm focusing here on armor mostly in order to get my Frost Nova to upgrade, but let's see if I actually pick armor because I don't remember. Yeah, I went for armor. So this game was first designed in August 2022, and by the way, we all have to thank Riot Serhayan because he is the father of this game mode. In his free time, he basically created this because he was a fan of Vampire Survivors. And then eventually Riot picked it up, and here we are. They started seriously working on this in the beginning of the year, and now we have this thing. So you should definitely thank him. It's pretty crazy that a VFX artist was able to create this. So here we went for the Yumi quest, and we have to chase the red dots. There are different quests that you can get. You can see we succeeded, we chased the red dots, and we have one of the 3 bonuses that we can pick up. They are boosting something, but they are also making you lose something. So for example, you get 150 ability haste, and then minus 50 ability haste, and it's rotating, so it really depends what you get. This game is pretty RNG. Some runs will feel great, some runs will probably feel terrible, but this is okay. I really like that this thing is pretty short. What's more, pretty much there are 4 stats. You have a passive, you have a weapon, you have an active, and you have your ultimate. Everyone has a passive weapon. Oh, by the way, here we picked up some reward, and we are invulnerable just driving in our cars. Kind of similar to what Scion R would be. And just going around the map and trying to scale up. Because the game will usually last around 20 minutes. So you want to gear up, get stronger, and hopefully not die. If one of you dies, that's fine. As I said, we can revive, but here I'm picking some gold. This is the thing that you can, after the game, use for some upgrades, as far as I remember. In this game mode, you will be playing against primordials. There will always be boss at the very end. So in the first map, for example, we had to defeat Rek'Sai, but in that game we had 2500 bitrate, so as you can imagine, it wasn't very great. And in this case, in this map, this is second map, at the very end, we'll be needing to defeat Aatrox. So there is also a way to evolve guns. The thing that you see at the bottom, the Frost Nova that I mentioned from Elaoi, it can be 3, it can be 2 in numbers. So these things, if you have it maxed, and then if you have the corresponding stats, like for Frost Nova I mentioned was armor, at least at rank 1, and then you defeat some mini-boss, or you actually defeat Elite, it can drop you a card. And if you get that card, you will be able to upgrade your weapon, and that will be really strong. So what more can I say? What about the Elaoi stats that she has? The skills. So the thing that I just used was her E. For her, it's just a knock-up that knocks up units in line, kind of similar to her Q. Then there's ult, that basically is a normal ult, similar to what Elaoi normally would be. You spawn a lot of tentacles. I might even be able to do it. Yeah, actually at that time I spawned a lot of tentacles. The more tentacles are near you, the more you actually heal. So ideally you want to stay near them. And then the passive ability basically spawns a tentacle every few seconds near you. So in every map you will have different objectives, you will have different mini-bosses that you can fight, you will have different quests that you can do. So by doing that, you will eventually get your upgrades, and as you can see, it goes pretty smooth. When everyone knows their selection, you basically have a level up and boom, you go for it. So here we have a quest that's happening, we have to dodge the meteor showers. Yeah, you remember you're walking with WSAD. At first it may not be intuitive, but trust me, it feels pretty good when you actually do it. So we have 10 more seconds of trying to dodge it. Unfortunately, I have to go between monsters, so not looking very good for me. And level up, so we get a pause before we die, or not die. I don't actually remember what happened here. So the reason it's still paused is because someone else is still making the selection. So we actually succeeded. We got the mission done, we got some gold, some XP, and some reward. So trying to escape wolves. We have Necrit, who's pretty stuck here. Did you just see that rocket? That was his ult. So he can actually target it in a certain area. Most of the abilities in this game, by the way, are used automatically. You pretty much don't need to do much. You just walk around, and like the tentacle thingy that I do is used passively. It's a weapon, so it just works. And there aren't very many targeted abilities. In Elaoi's case, I have E, but her ult is already like, I cast it on myself. So here we see some other weapons. There was an Blaster, that's one of the names. There was a Frost Nova to upgrade. So yeah, the comp we have here is probably not the best because we have like 2 bruisers-ish and 2 AD carries. But Necrit has a lot of damage. Necrit was really stagnant this game. He was really strong. So basically the plan for this game was try to survive and let the Necrit do the carry. So here you can see some of the gun selections. I have Gatling gun that deals area damage over time in a cone. Static shift, you know, like static shift in League of Legends pretty much. You can be pretty confused as to what's going on, and I don't blame you. When you actually play the game, you will feel it more. I know it can feel pretty crazy, but it's really not that bad. So here I'm going for area size to buff my skills. And also, for example, if you go for the Hollow Radiance, so the Sunfire type of item, you will actually have a pretty big range of your Sunfires, so upgrading your area size can be pretty good. And for Tentacles, it can be pretty good as well. Here I got into some minefield that's hurting me a lot, so trying to dodge these as much as I can. I have Tibers following me. This is one of the skills that you can get. So Robot Tibers is a pretty nice companion. There is also, for example, a Yumi robot that flies around and picks up experience. I think it's a really good one, especially when you play alone, because it's kind of hard to pick up experience. You can see all the crazy boomerangs flying around. Most of this is probably from Necrit. Here we have to dodge some meteors. We have, I think our Zaya went down, but Necrit is actually doing a lot of damage in here. Trying to help him with a little CC on the bosses. Here is the Kog'Maw that I'm gonna be trying to go for. I'm somewhat tanky, but not that tanky, so there's also dumps running around trying to help me out. So as you can see, a lot of my damage is just comes automatically from my auto attacks, so don't really need to do much there. Basically all the characters, as I know, attack the units that are near them. So if you're melee, it's gonna be near you. If you range, a bit more range. Here we got another quest, bounce the beach ball. So the beach ball is actually at the top of the screen, you can't see it yet. So here Dams bounces the beach ball, but it actually went over the wall and he didn't manage to do it, and we failed that quest. So that was pretty unfortunate. It's always nice to be able to get a buff. So here you can see how auto attacks work, because I'm actually alone here. I just pretty much attack the nearest unit near me. And then every few seconds I also spawn Tentacle. And we just got a trial that Velvet has spawned. So here I probably should have went for Hollow Radiance, considering I had some area scaling, but I didn't. You can see how crazy it can get with projectiles, with Necrit just going and attacking everything left and right. And by the way, in one of the games that I'm gonna upload later, you will see upload more of that, because pretty much entire team had that type of setup. So the FPS is still holding strong at 140, but if it gets really hard, there will be a lot of units. So maybe if you have a very potato type of PC, you might be struggling a little bit. So here we have a trial with Velvet that we can pop. So the goal is to kill the enemy that spawned, pretty much. So we have a lot of minions around us. As you can see, we are killing them pretty well. There's just a lot of happening on the screen, but I mean, that's expected from this type of game. It's actually pretty fun. And this thing I can say that this shit is pretty fun. So here we got another level up. Movement speed can be a pretty good stat at times, because it always helps you dodge things. So we succeeded with the mission of clearing the enemies. Got some bonuses. Let me let you listen to the sounds that there are currently here for a moment. Yeah, as you can probably tell, it can get pretty loud. There are so many objects around. They actually needed to code completely different units, because if they just used minions from Summoner's Rift, this would be like 0 FPS. So all these things are pretty much made from scratch. Here we're fighting against Nocturne, I believe, and the other guy that died so fast that I didn't even manage to see what he was actually. So another level up. We're already at level 26. Slowly maxing our stats. There should be a selection of 3, as far as I know. I don't know if it was bugged for me, or I'm just didn't appear in time, so I was basically clicking the leftmost thing. And you can see I already have all the weapons possible at the bottom and all the stats possible at the bottom. So you cannot get more than 4 weapons, including not including the one you have at the start, because everyone has one. So in this case the Ilaoi tentacle thingy. So 4 extra weapons and 6 stats. And remember, it is possible to have a super weapon. So you need to have your weapon maxed out and have a passive of any level of the corresponding skill. So as I said, for my Frozen Nova, it would need to be armor. So here we have a pretty intense battle as well. I'm gonna let you listen to that for a moment. Okay, it looks like we mostly cleared that, but as you can tell, a lot of units to kill. We are at what, 1100 units killed? Yeah, it's going really fast. Okay, here we got caught. 2 of us died. It's just pretty much Necrid that's running around. I cannot really see his perspective because you cannot look at where your allies are, but I assume it was just for the testing, because remember, this is not the final version, so we tested something that wasn't the final version and was still in the works. So here Necrid actually picked me up. I'm trying to at least peel for him. I'm nowhere near as strong as he is. Here you can see he picked up some health, so he actually got healed. First map, for example, has a big shrine in the middle that allows you to heal your entire team. Look at the amount of units like around me currently. It's crazy. Necrid is just... I'm just trying to run around, keep them in place, while Necrid is just dealing all the damage to it. We also got the other squad members revived right now. Getting a little bit cornered here, so yeah, I'm gonna let you listen to that for a moment again. Yeah, so basically we almost all died, and it's just dumps on Riven with, like, you can see at the right, he's at like 0 health, he's just jumping and running around. I'm pretty sure you will be able to see his video on this as well to see what's going on. Necrid actually managed to revive. He stayed at such low HP near that wall for a while. I'm trying again to make some space for him because he is our primary damage dealer, but here he went again. I'm picking up the Xayah. Yeah, we are kind of getting overrun by the minions. As you can see, it can get pretty intense. There can be so many of them. And here there is our hero running around dumps, just trying to survive as long as possible while we are in our gray screen simulator. Necrid is being picked up, revived. He's gonna pick me up in a moment. And then we're gonna pick up Terenas and Xayah, hopefully to survive. And here we have the Aatrox. This is the final boss. Spawning at 15 minutes, at least for us. And the way this boss works is that you have to kill him twice. So this is our plan. We're going to try to kill him and then hopefully pass this map. Let's see how this goes. He has a lot of abilities. There's a lot of things going on, so you have to pay a lot of attention to the things on the ground and just flying around from left and right. Anyone of you that played Odyssey will know what to do. Your instincts will probably kick in anyway. So here we need to destroy pillars to actually be able to deal damage to Aatrox, and we're being dragged to those pillars. So continue the fight. He has some crazy dash right here. Okay, another level up. So right now we're level 29. I believe we can be like 30 max. He goes right. We have a lot of damage. Maybe not me in particular. I'm just playing distraction mode, but Necrid doing so much damage. So the Aatrox AP is dropping pretty nicely, I must say. So here we're getting pulled again. He spawned another pillar to pull us in, and we have to focus the pillar again. Unfortunately, we lost our Xayah for the moment. There's also his gigantic swords dropping on us from the sky, so a lot of things to dodge that I'm probably not doing the best possible. Okay, I took that one to the face. It's not doing that much damage at least, so I'm trying to stay near so I can do damage with my weapon. So the default auto attacks. Then we're picking up Zaya and still trying to get over that beast. I mean, this is pretty cool, you have to admit that. Even if you don't like this particular game mode, I think it's great that you finally have some breath of fresh air in League of Legends. So many years. Okay, level up number 30. And is Aatrox gonna die? Okay, pulled us again. That guy had to do it, of course. It seems that I actually just bamboozled you because it seems my XP keeps going up, so level 30 is probably not the cap. And you can see my weapons or skills aren't maxed out either, so... The big purple bar at the bottom is the experience bar. Okay, so here we kill him the first time. And... Run, run, run. We have to run right now. He drags us to the pillar that's near the water, but there is water coming from east that will flood us and kill us. So here we destroy the pillar and now it's time to run. Unfortunately, the water does damage to us. So here is when movement speed skills are really saving my ass. So here is the second part of this fight. We have to kill Aatrox again. So let's actually see how well we can do. Alrighty. We still don't have our Zaya. And here you can see there are a lot of things to dodge. I'm trying, but there are just so many of them, it's almost impossible to dodge everything. So first I have to be near him to deal damage to him because I'm melee. And then I have to dodge all this shit, so you need to pay a lot of attention. And unfortunately, Necrit died, so our primary damage dealer has faded away. So it's just me and Dumps trying to survive this. Another pillar spawned, but we also have the chains. There's just so much damage that we're taking. I'm ulting. Remember that being near my tentacles heals me up a bit. So I'm somewhat staying alive here. Let's see for how long. Okay, so we actually defeated that pillar, but there is a big explode getting knocked up pretty far away. I'm getting gold, so even if I die, at least I can afford some upgrades to my to my character for the next games. So the good thing is we got our 2 AD carries back, but we lost me. So of course it's gonna get harder. A lot of, as you can see, still on the screen, fortunately, a lot of projectiles coming left and right. Aatrox is mad. This guy is really mad, that's what I can tell you. So he just jumped left towards our AD carry. We just lost Taranas on Zaya. It looks like Necrit is also about to die very soon. Okay, I actually got revived by Dumps, who has just crazy mobility and shields. So still in the game. The problem is we don't have our 2 AD carries again. And yep, this is it for me, and it's again up to Dumps, and I don't know if he will be able to survive all this insanity. He picked up Necrit. I'm gonna let you hear this insanity for a moment again. I love this sound. Boom, 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 boom. And this is how it ended for us. And by the way, this was supposedly one of the easiest difficulties. So really curious how the hard ones are gonna be. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned because there will be more uploads from me. There will be crazy games coming soon, and be sure to let me know what do you think about this game mode. Take care and have a nice day.